Good evening. I'm Robert Gregory, Interim Superintendent of the Hillside Public Schools. I'd like to welcome everyone to our fifth and final information session about Hillside Innovation Academy, our district's first magnet school, opening its doors to 7th and 8th grade students in September of 2021. Before we begin our presentation, I'd like to recognize and introduce several people who made this evening possible and will be assisting throughout our session. First and foremost, our board president, Kimberly Cook, board member Eleanor Worrell, our HEA president, Angela Lawler, our director of curriculum and instruction, Dr. James Bevere, our supervisor of data and educator effectiveness, Christy Weaver, our technology department, Ms. Alice Velez and Deanna DeFlori, and last but certainly not least, our administrative assistant, Maricel Rivera. In the event you have questions this evening, we would like you to feel free to place them in our Q&A box located at the bottom of the screen. Those questions will be answered after the presentation is over. Additionally, tonight's presentation is being recorded. The recorded session will be placed on our website tomorrow for all to see and review. The work and task of public education in the 21st century is getting more complex, not less. It's work that cannot be done alone. That's why, as a district, we remain committed to establishing partnerships that create new pathways, opportunities, and programs that will move all students in schools in Hillside forward. With that, it gives me great pleasure to introduce a man who has worked diligently on supporting the opening of our district's first magnet school, our magnet school consultant, Mr. Anthony Salters. Mr. Salters?
Thank you, Mr. Gregory. Good evening. Thank you for your interest in the Hillside Innovation Academy. We fully understand we have a diverse speaking audience. Ms. Maricel Rivera will share some instructions that may assist some to follow our presentation better. Ms. Rivera.
Buenas noches, mi nombre es Marisol Rivera. Si usted desea obtener una copia de esta presentación en español, me puede llamar al 908-352-7664, extensión 8471. También me puede enviar un correo electrónico a mrivera@hillsidek12.org. Gracias.
Thank you, Ms. Rivera. I'm Anthony Salters, and I was hired less than a year ago to be a consultant tasked with formulating the concept, vision, and operation of a magnet school becoming a reality in Hillside. That reality is now here. We are proud to announce the Hillside Innovation Academy is scheduled to open in September 2021. When people move into any community, rarely do they ask a realtor how or who the mayor or the council is or how they're doing. The number one question that people ask is, how is the school system? The necessity of a more challenging academic environment and experience for our middle scholars is based on that reality. The Hillside Board of Education members have been inspired to improve our school district by recently purchasing a more challenging curriculum, reorganizing our elementary schools to establish town-wide educational uniformity, and reinvigorated our top school and district leadership with new hires and transfers over the past 2 years. The Hillside Board of Education has gone beyond the mandate to educate our children by prioritizing on keeping our students and staff safe by providing armed security patrols for our schools. Hillside, being an innovator, also took the initiative last year to rename 2 of our elementary schools, which were previously named after a slave owner and a Ku Klux Klan member. The Hillside Board of Education understands that the school is a vital part of the extended family of a child and the greater Hillside community. Oftentimes, a humanitarian approach is needed outside of the school building. That's why breakfast and lunches are still provided to students weekly upon request. That's why Hillside School Board of Education members and staff have publicly distributed at various times since June thousands of face masks during the pandemic to anyone who needs it throughout Hillside. We have great students and staff in Hillside. We recognize that. We have had students who have excelled and are excelling. But until all of our students excel and reach their fullest potential, it's not enough and we need to do more. We believe children aim for the bar set for them individually by our teachers and educational leadership. The bar henceforth will be set higher for students, staff, and parents in all schools. Collectively, in partnership, we can make a positive difference. Before we get into the presentation of the Hillside Innovation Academy, the Hillside Board of Education wants to ensure students, parents, guardians, and the community at large that enhancing education in one school does not mean the existing WOK middle school or any other school will be neglected one bit. Besides the new school leadership, a male and female student mentorship program has been added to develop a student's personal growth and academic accountability, which will be added in this school year at the WOK Middle School. In addition, the Women's Wellness Program of New Jersey, consisting of all female minority medical professionals, will be working with 3 age groups of Hillside students. The age groups are as follows: 8 to 10, 11 to 13, and 14 to 18, beginning in March to expose and possibly pique the curiosity and interest in a career such as dentistry, nursing, or surgical performance professionalism. Some of our current 8th graders will begin actual college courses this summer and receive actual college credits until they graduate by participating in the Kane University Scholars Program each summer. These credits are fully transferable to any college of the student's choice. This year, the tuition of each participating student will be paid for by the CARES Act monies secured through the Union County government. Transportation to and from the Kane University campus for students will be provided free of charge by the university. That's free tuition for students and free transportation. Upon graduating from the 12th grade, participating students will have an all-expense chaperone paid trip to the Kane University campus in China to broaden their horizons even further. There are ongoing discussions with 3 area colleges to establish a dual program for our high school students that will be announced once finalized. These programs will be ongoing and hopefully upon success continue for many years to come within the Hillside Public School District. At the recommendation of Superintendent Robert Gregory, he has pledged to move his office into the WOK Middle School by May of 2021. This move is to highlight the sense of urgency that middle school improvement is not mere rhetoric, but a demonstrated visible action and a high priority. Superintendent Gregory has also recommended that the Director of Curriculum office be moved to the high school during the same time frame as well. Change is difficult sometimes, but to improve, changes are necessary. While constant energy is expended and expected in other communities to improve education, and a small few try to pontificate why we can't have the same innovation in Hillside, I want to publicly commend the Hillside Board of Education members who stayed focused and said, why not here? And yes, we will. The vision statement. Every scholar who walks through our doors will realize their positive contribution to the world has limitless boundaries. The untapped greatness of ideas will manifest itself and flourish with the instilled confidence that will be nurtured daily within these walls. There will be no excuses accepted. The mission statement. We will continually overvalue each minute to maximize, prepare, and give the gift of education to every scholar. The Hillside Innovation Academy location will be located at 195 Virginia Street, which is currently the central office headquarters, and 1100 Woodruff Avenue, commonly known as Saybrook School. Class size will be 12 to 15 scholars per class. The total school scholar population will be between 120 to 140 students. The 7th grade curriculum will be as follows. Algebra 1, language arts, physical education and health, social studies, with a concentration in Black and Latin studies and studying the Holocaust period, environmental science, and Spanish 1. The 8th grade curriculum will be geometry, language arts, Mandarin, physical education and health, financial literacy, civics, and biology. Integrated into the curriculum for the 7th and 8th graders will be the following: leadership development, interacting with the police, social media decorum, group civics projects, debate preparation, adapting to change, conflict resolution, and coding. In partnership with Kane University has provided curriculum development assistance in the following areas: science, social studies, financial literacy, and world language. The admissions process: current report card, previous grade report card, extracurricular activities, maturity and behavior, an essay, school attendance, and test scores. Applications for admittance. Applications are currently on the Hillside Board of Education website. The application deadline is Monday, March 1st, 2021, and the accepted scholars will be notified during the weeks of March 15th and March 22nd, extending to March 29th. Direct benefit to our scholars: a culture of academic excellence, global learning opportunities, an intense high school recruitment process, scholarship opportunities, and a pathway to higher level high school courses. How do our residents benefit? Increased property values. The state of New Jersey currently pays Hillside $11,975 per student. Special thanks to the Hillside School Board, our partners in education, our wonderful Hillside School Board staff, and former school board members who were on the school board when this project first initiated. And our Education Advisory Committee, special thanks to them as well. And thank you. But before we acknowledge questions in the chat, let me first say that this is a wonderful opportunity for children, our scholars who may want to excel or get a more challenging learning environment. And as a parent or guardian, you have the choice of what educational institution that your child goes to. That choice is yours and only yours. You may look at this and you may be excited about this, and some may look at it and say, this school is not for my child. But that choice is 100% your choice. We hope you join us, but if this is not for you, please make room for the parents who are interested. Thank you. First question.
Good evening. Our first question, please confirm the magnet school is only open to Hillside residents and not the surrounding towns. In addition, will before and after care be offered?
No.
I have a few more questions. Does the magnet school need to be approved through a voter referendum?
No, the magnet school does not need to be approved by a voter referendum. If some of us can remember when we just renovated our football field, no voter referendum was necessary. So I know there was a hue and outcry from the community when we renovated the football field, and people said, what about people who don't play sports? And the football field got renovated. So now we're dealing with our scholars who may not have been able to participate in academic sports, and we're trying to also improve conditions and the educational opportunities for them as well right now.
How are the credits earned again?
You're talking about the Kane Scholars Program?
They are Pacific. They just want to know how the credits are earned again. Let's review
Okay.
the Kane Scholars.
Let me answer, because I only talked about credits for the Kane Scholars Program, so I'm going to make an assumption that that's what they were talking about. The credits are for the summer program at Kane, which is going to start June 1st and July 1st at Kane University. And our students who will be selected by their school principal, the superintendent, will go to Kane University. And I think it's a 6-week program that they are making. It's a very fluid situation right now, but it's definitely going to happen. And upon completion, each child will get 3 credits per course.
Do you feel the questions by the public are good for the progress of the education in Hillside and the community?
Yes, I think the questions are much needed. I love the passion of the back and forth. I'd rather have the passion of back and forth of a magnet school coming in, which is very positive. As you know, in Hillside, we fought off liquor stores and storage facilities, and we've had people vote for storage facilities and fight the magnet school. But I love the passion that this is something extremely positive for our community. And I believe the majority of Hillside residents are excited about this school coming to fruition.
This was a great presentation. Why are the new board members so against it? Parents want more for their children. They should realize they are here for children, not their personal agendas.
One thing that I'm not going to do on this call is politicize this, because this magnet school is bigger than any one individual. This is for our children. We always want our children to do better than we did. I want to believe that. So to answer that question, I would say whoever sent that question in, to talk to those board members who they are identifying directly. I don't want to speak for them on this issue.
What choices will Hillside Innovation Academy's parents have after their child graduates from 8th grade?
Basically, what's going to happen in our vision here is that these students who come through the Hillside Innovation Academy will be highly sought after, highly recruited, and we could see a recruitment process similar to the recruitment process of when someone is a good athlete. These students are going to be in demand.
Does the mayor or council have to vote on the magnet school?
No.
Where exactly is the application? I was not able to locate it on the website. Mr. Gregory, can you take that?
Yes, the application can be found on the carousel on our website. When you log on, if you click on the picture, it will bring you to the application.
Our next question. Basically, the student would need to be on an honor roll to be accepted, test scores, grades.
No. We have many diverse students in Hillside who have different skills. So of course, we're looking for top flight students in the classroom, but we have students who have excelled outside of the classroom. Those students will also be looked at as well. Of course, we already laid out the criteria, but our students in Hillside have many talents, so we will not have a cookie cutter approach of what qualifies a student beyond the basic foundation, but certain students in Hillside are truly gifted and will be considered for admittance in the Hillside Innovation Academy.
Will transportation be offered? If not, can parents chip in for transportation? Transportation will not be offered, as it is not offered for any of our students in 7th and 8th grade, and the buildings are still located in Hillside. I recently heard about the magnet school. Where will the school be located? School will be located at 195 Virginia Street and 1100 Woodruff Avenue, which is known now as our board office in Saybrook Schools. We have another question concerning busing. We just answered that there will not be transportation. If my child is not accepted in the 7th, will he still have a chance to be accepted in the 8th grade?
Absolutely.
Next, I salute the district for this great effort. Will there be a yearly curriculum in regards to the Amistad Law as it relates to Black history being taught on a deeper level for 7th and 8th grade students?
Yes, I know this is Black History Month, but we believe that Black studies, Latin studies, and the Holocaust period studies should actually be year-round and not just 28 days of a month or 29 if you're lucky. It should be all year round.
Please explain the difference between a magnet school and charter schools.
The Hillside Innovation Academy, and I'm going to use the term magnet, is a fully public institution. It's a public school institution, and a charter school is governed also by the state of New Jersey, but not up under the umbrella of the public school system, although they use public monies and they have regulations, but the superintendent of schools is not over a charter school, but the superintendent of schools is in the hierarchy of the Hillside Innovation Academy.
What topic should the essay be written on? You go into the application, there is a topic for the students to write on. Do all the report cards affect your entry into the school?
A review will be of the student's current report card and the previous grade report card. To answer the question, I don't know how that report card looks. It will have to be on an individual by individual basis. And upon review, I guess the board staff led by Dr. Bavir will make that determination.
Will this high level of academics continue in the high school?
We believe so, we're hoping so, we're striving for it to continue.
Hello, the documents for registration. Do you have to ask the school for the report cards, essay, test scores, and other documents? If the students currently go to Hillside here, those documents are already on file. Any students that do not attend here currently will have to submit those documents through their school district. We have another question. Where the school be located? As we stated before, will be at the board office, Saybrook School, located at 195 Virginia Street and 1100 Woodruff Avenue. Hello, what are your plans with this school regarding COVID restrictions? This school will follow the same COVID guidelines as the district. It is still under the Hillside Board of Education guidelines. More decisions will be made in the future as to what that looks like for September. Will there be extracurricular activities? If so, what will they be?
Yes, there will be extracurricular activities, and students who have participated in extracurricular activities at WLK will still be allowed to participate in those sports and clubs as well.
If students don't have to be on honors, then what will be the difference between public and magnet schools?
The curriculum that we just went over, you can see a difference in what they're teaching with financial literacy, civics, a focus on Black and Latin studies and the Holocaust period. The curriculum is very, very diverse. So regardless of what student is accepted, the curriculum is not going to be adapted for those students. The curriculum is what it is.
Will acceptance be based off of the last report card of the sixth grade or all report cards for the sixth grade?
It'll be based off the cumulative information that is submitted by the students based on their previous academic performance or their extracurricular activities or some outstanding intellect that they have excelled in.
Will failing one class affect you from entering the school?
I don't want to give a blanket answer on that because I don't know the circumstances. Dr. Bavir probably could answer that better, but we also know that students have situations that cause hardship. Maybe somebody failed because they were homeless. Maybe somebody failed because they didn't understand a teacher. So before I give a blanket answer, I'm going to defer to you, Dr. Bavir, to help answer that question.
I think we're looking for growth, maturity, and we're looking for how students are progressing through the academic challenges they've been facing.
Thank you.
What are the standardized test scores that I see in the application requirements? Dr. Bavir, you want to take that one?
We will have, for students in district, we'll have Linkage scores and we'll have NJSLA scores from the past that have been administered and we have on record.
If students attend 7th and 8th grade but leave the Hillside school system for high school, will they still have those credits towards college?
If they attend 7th and 8th grade, those college credits will not start until they're entering the 9th grade. So a 7th and 8th grader will not have taken a college course. Kane Scholars Program is for incoming 9th graders.
Please explain in detail once again where the application is located. I'm having trouble finding it. Please send an email to Dr. Bevere with your information on our website, and he will help you find it. It is actually on the front page of our website. You'll see the Hillside Magnet School. You're going to click on where it says application. It'll bring you up to application. If there's any further difficulty, please email the superintendent's office for Dr. Bevere. If a student is currently in a magnet school outside of Hillside District but lives in Hillside, can the student still apply for the Hillside Innovative School? Yes, they can. Will students continue learning Mandarin in high school?
This school is meant to challenge and expose students. That's why they're having Spanish in 7th grade and Mandarin in 8th grade. If they want to pursue that, at least when they get to the 9th grade, they've actually been exposed. And that's what we want to do with our students. Once you expose the students, you broaden their horizon. So the main thing is to expose students to choices that they can have. So whatever choice they want to make as students in the 9th grade, they'll be prepared that they've had 2 languages coming into the 9th grade.
Are the educators from within the district new hires or both?
We foresee a mixture of current educators in the district and, of course, bringing in people from outside the district as well.
Will completion of this school prepare students for AP honors courses for high school?
No doubt, absolutely.
The application is now on the website. Thank you. We appreciate you for sharing that with us. Will there also be a magnet school alternative for high school levels 9 through 12th grade?
No idea. I'm only the consultant for the 7th and 8th grade Hillside Innovation Academy. I can't answer that question right now.
Okay. Our students in 9th and 12th grade do have an opportunity to go to the Union County magnet schools at this time. That option is still available to our students. Are those extracurricular curriculums done in school or after school activities? If they're after school due to COVID, many were stopped. It depends on which extracurricular activities you're talking about. We do have some that are continuing now. Those that can be done virtually are still open to our students. Hopefully in September, we'll be able to go back to in-person. What will be my child's new schedule if accepted? How will the magnet school work with the current school schedule? The hours of the magnet school will be the same. What should I put in the extracurricular activities? Can I include activities outside of school? Absolutely. At this time, we have no more questions. We're going to give a few minutes in case anyone else wants to ask any questions. Next question. So what's the schedule for the magnet school, the times and dates? Magnet school students will follow the same times and dates as all our students in the district. Their schedules will be made as we go further as in any school, and they will get those before the start of school. Well, growing from the first marking period to the current marking period give you a higher chance of entering this school. I believe what they're trying to say, if their grades increase, will their chances be better to get into the school?
Can't hurt. Grades improve. Improvement is always welcome.
Will there be a resource officer or security at the magnet school? That is correct. All our buildings by state law have to have security.
Yes. Yes.
Next question. So will my child be exempt from Hillside classes when taking magnet school classes that are taking place at the same time?
I'm not really understanding the question. If your child goes to the Hillside Innovation Academy, their responsibility is to take the classes at the Hillside Innovation Academy. I don't know what other classes they could be taking at another school at the same time that will provide a conflict.
If a student's grades aren't up to par while enrolled, can they get kicked out of the magnet school?
Absolutely.
Will students be provided with an electronic devices? Absolutely, just as we have given our students Chromebooks and some have laptops, the students in the magnet school will receive the same thing. Let's just keep it in mind that the magnet school does not replace what the students already have. It's just enhancing it to our education. Is the uniform the same or different? There's still discussions as to will there be a uniform or not and what that uniform will look like. If there is a uniform, it probably will mimic what WK already has. What should I put in the extracurriculars activities? That's the same question I believe we answered already. If your child does anything after school, such as sports, any other activities, that is what you will be entering into that space. If they have any community service, anything that they do outside of school.
Madam President, I just want to backtrack on something you said. I don't want to leave any room for any ambiguity. These students will have a uniform. The question is what uniform that will be. Probably the same uniform as WOK. But I didn't want any space where these students, people think these students are not going to wear uniforms and the rest of the school population is. That's not the case.
Are the teachers, previous or current teachers, who will the principal be? This is all under labor negotiations and it will not be discussed any further until that time. Good evening all. If my child is accepted to the magnet school, when will they be notified? Students will be notified starting the week of March 15th through March 29th. Please correct me if I'm not correct. Does the school have an outdoor area for recess to keep children active? Absolutely, it does. Will coding be a class for 8th grade?
7th and 8th graders will be exposed to coding.
Next question. Will it be online for the school? Okay, can you type a little bit more as to what you're asking? Will it be online for the school? Okay, so that question is in reference to will there be virtual classes? In the event that we are not back in person, there will be virtual classes. Will there be any music and art? Absolutely. Do a child receiving the COVID vaccination affect acceptance? The COVID vaccination is not mandatory in the state of New Jersey at this time. I'm interested to know how this new school came about. Was there any known problems with the existing 7th and 8th grade school in Hillside?
A couple of things. First, in the Hillside community, we have so many families that live, work, and play in Hillside and send their children to other schools outside of the district. They're a vital part of our community. No one buys a house or rents an apartment in a township or municipality and desires to send their child for K through 12 learning to another community. In order to try to entice and keep them here with a more challenging curriculum, this was the brainchild of the current school leadership to offer a curriculum for 7th and 8th grade students, because after the 6th grade, there was not a mass exodus, but an exodus where our student population sometimes decreased. And the number one concern for the parents was that they wanted a more challenging curriculum. So this school, in all hopes, fills that gap.
So just to be clear, I will be taking my child to the address that you have provided for the next school year if accepted. That is affirmative. If your child is accepted into the magnet school, they will go to 195 Virginia Street and 1100 Woodruff Avenue, which is on one property. What kind of after-school activities will there be?
The same after-school activities at WOK will also be happening at the Hillside Innovation Academy. And if a student is participating at WOK in after-school activities, they are not barred or exempt from continuing that participation.
After this meeting concludes, will we still be able to access the PowerPoint that is affirmative? After this meeting concludes, will we still be able to access the PowerPoint? That is affirmative. The PowerPoint will be up on our website starting tomorrow. The application will also remain on our website throughout the summer. How many recommendations will my child need? I believe the application asks for 2 recommendations. For the recommendation letters, do they have to be from a current teacher or can it be from a past teacher? That is up to your own choice. Can the discussion of home economic courses as well as wood shop and cooking be available?
This is a fluid situation here academically. So the answer to your question is not the first year, but incorporating and growing this school over the course of time, we see no reason why that can't be an option in the future.
What's the criteria for students to be accepted?
Current report card, previous grade report card, maturity and behavior of a student, the essay, school attendance, and test scores.
We have the same question again. Recommendation letters, do they have to be from current teachers or could it be from past teachers? That is at your will, your choice, whether you want a current or past teacher. Just not your kindergarten teacher. What is the average grade for a student to be accepted into this program? There's a lot of criteria for acceptance that will all be reviewed for the students. It is not just based on grade average. At this time, we have no further questions.
Thank you, Madam President. Again, thank you for spending your evening with us tonight. We hope that the Hillside Innovation Academy has sparked your interest and you wish to continue this process. Our application is on the website. Thank you. We can't thank you enough for your participation. We can't thank you enough for caring about your child's education. And in solidarity with you, we want to improve the education in this entire school system from K to 12. Thank you. Good night.